Are you looking to grow revenues, increase profitability, or obtain financing? If so, you came to the right place.
Running a business is all about leadership. How do you become a better leader? Learn from the successful entrepreneurs and business owners how to lead your organization more effectively. That's why we created Leadership Live at 805, Talking Small Business, to help you succeed with your host, Andrew Frazier, Business Growth Pro and CFO and founder of the Small Business Pro University. Every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're joined by experienced entrepreneurs and business owners who share their secrets to success via live stream. Also, every Friday morning, we release a new podcast episode. Either way, you will learn about developing your business leadership skills from our roster of highly performing guest experts. Leadership Live is one of the many valuable resources provided through the Small Business Pro University, empowering business owners to learn, profit, and grow. Find out more at sbprou.com.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Leadership Live at 805. I'm your host, Andrew Frazier, and excited to be here with you once again. Always look forward to the show. Definitely meet great people, learn great things, and share valuable knowledge with entrepreneurs and business owners like you. At the end of the day, your business can only go as far as you're prepared to take it. And what Leadership Live is here for is to help you learn from other leaders who have been successful and learn how to move your business and lead your business more effectively. So this is a special week. I'm calling it Small Business Pro Week because we got several great things going on here in New Jersey. We have our annual conference for Small Business Pro University, as well as our networking event. And for the first time ever, we're doing Small Business Pro Saturday. And you're going to learn a little bit more about all those things as we talk tonight. But before we get started with that, our guest is none other than Precious, the Killer Pitch Master Williams. And, she's going to bring her power and energy tonight, but not only just tonight. She's going to be keynoting and participating in our Small Business Pro Week activities and events. So I want to welcome her. Hey, Darren, how you doing? Welcome tonight. And let me just bring Precious on. Hey, Precious, how are you doing tonight?
I am well. How are you?
Excellent. So, you're joining us here from North Kakalaka.
North Kakalaka, yes.
And in the house. So what are you doing down there? Why are you down in North Carolina?
Well, Andrew, I'm so glad you asked. I am keynoting the National Association of Women Business Owners Greater Rally Installation and Gala tomorrow night. And so I am so excited. And as you know, I was selected as one of the top 3 Women Business Owners of the Year finalists. And while I was in Washington, D.C. for the NABO days, I had a chance to really speak to a number of great chapters, share a lot about myself, and it has led to a lot of, paid speaking engagements because people know when I bless the microphone, I bless it.
Definitely. So if you've never seen Precious in person, you need to check her out. I've known her for a long time. I had seen her speak online, but that pales in comparison to seeing her speak in person. So if you haven't, definitely check her out. And
they might want to show up on Friday.
Yep, this Friday,
and get a taste. You get a real taste.
Get a real taste of Precious and what she's done. So, you've been on the show before, so we're not going to really go through your background. But, I'm sure it'll come out as we talk today. But we want to talk a little bit about the 3P's for personal and business success. Because, those are, you've helped a lot of people be more successful. And this is sort of your methodology of how you do it. So before we dig into that, let's just share a little bit about the conference and some of the things coming up, and then we're going to talk about the 3P's. So we've got 3 events coming up. So first we've got the networking event Thursday night in Newark. So if you
always a crowd pleaser, always
come check it out. And this is a little bit about what it's going to be. Join us for the Power Network event at Mercado Tomato Pie in Newark, New Jersey on Thursday, July 25th. Meet with like-minded entrepreneurs in a relaxed environment to chat, connect, and collaborate. I'm Andrew Frazier. Please join me at our Power Network event, and I look forward to introducing you to our members. To learn more and register, visit www.sbprou.com/power-network. That's www.sbprou.com/power-network today. Okay, great. So that's really what the networking event is about. So that just warms things up. So then on Friday, we got our conference. So this is a little bit about the conference. Precious is the keynote, and here's what it's going to be about. We're here at the Small Business Power Breakfast and Conference.
This event was a wow. Every panel, every speaker has had so much amazing content and good information to share.
This is a good day to put aside to come out and do some learning, but also make some great connections.
Lakeland Bank is proud to sponsor the Power Breakfast this year, actually for the entire year.
Join me at the Small Business Pro Power Conference on July 26th in Newark, New Jersey. And you don't want to miss our featured guest speaker, Precious L. Williams. She will be talking about Rainmaking 101 from day one.
Good day, everyone. Hey, hey, hey. It's your girl, Precious Williams, the killer pitch master, and I can't wait to see you at the Small Business Power Breakfast and Conference.
Take advantage of our early bird pricing by registering today. Okay, great. So that's really what we have coming up. So, Precious, what are the 3P's for personal and business success?
Well, the 3P's are packaging, positioning, and pitching. And the reason why I want to make sure that people understand this, and a lot of people know me as a killer pitch master and think that all I can do is pitch. But what I want entrepreneurs, speakers, coaches, consultants, and even entrepreneurs to know is that if you really, really, really want to be the only choice that matters, you have to master the art of packaging, positioning, and pitching. I call it Pushing P. I know there was a very famous hip hop song called Pushing P. We're going to be pitching the 3P's as I keynote on Friday. But when it comes to packaging, and let's get right into it. There are some people who truly stand out by the things that they wear, the clothes, their makeup, their signature style, those sort of things that people anticipate. So with me, as many of you all know, I love to wear colors. I like to wear bold colors that don't reflect the lawyer Precious that I used to have on black and navy blue. Because my brand is all about being bold and doing the unexpected and truly standing out in reasons that actually matter, I wanted my clothing style, my signature clothing style, to be a reflection of that. You never know what I'm going to wear. You never know what my hair is going to look like. It's going to be professional. And yet, everything in my makeup is going to show you that if you're expecting boring, that's not Precious. If you're expecting someone who is just going to say the same things over and over and over again, that's not Precious. And if you really want to truly be the only choice that matters, we have to master the art of that. We have to master, do you wear brooches? Do you wear something that truly is you, that people identify with that? It's your attitude, your clothing style, makeup, just the general things that really solidify that if they hire you, book you, and refer you, that there's something so different about you that's truly going to stand out and make people want to work with you. Positioning. This determines if you're even going to get paid. So when you think about positioning, think about in a sea of speakers, in a sea of coaches and consultants, in a sea of entrepreneurs, in a sea of where everybody's seemingly doing the same thing. Are you considered average, random, and ordinary? Or are you mid-tier? Or are you elite? And how do you even know how they do that? How do you even know that that makes a difference? There is a reason why certain people, when you see their names headlined, that people immediately want to go buy tickets, or they consider it because they know this person is elite. And so that person will be paid by the organizers, because you will put butts in the room, and they know having you there adds a certain cachet. Another thing that it does is if you're known in your zone of genius. So I often say this about speakers, that when people think of speakers, they usually think of the motivational speakers. And I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm the killer pitch master, and now I'm the ultimate rainmaker, where we're pulling together from my legal background and entrepreneurship to show you how to make it rain like snow in your business. And that's going down a different rabbit hole, but it's also plot twisting and flipping the script. So my positioning has changed from people just thinking about pitching to understanding that positioning is why I am booked, busy, and paid as a speaker, as a corporate trainer, signing contracts. And that's what my clients are doing too. So start thinking about, how are you positioned in the marketplace? How do people see you? Are they trying to come at you for exposure, trying to get everything for free for you? Or are you kind of like, hey, great to know, not necessarily necessary. Elite are necessary and will be paid. And then pitching. You know that there are 6 different forms of pitching. Which one of those pitches is going to take you to the next level? For some people, it will be your elevator pitch. For some people, it'll be your sales pitch. For some people, it'll be your media pitch. For some, it will be your speaker pitch. And all of that comes from understanding the power of rainmaking. So when I wrote my 5th #1 best-selling book, Rainmaking 101, we're going to go deeper into that. So as I keynote on Friday, I want you all to understand where all of these came from. And so when people only define you for one thing and you're ready to branch off and do something different, how do you plot, twist, and flip the script? It's a strategy on pushing P. Packaging. What needs to change about your packaging? When I was Perfect Pitches by Precious and it was just me solo dolo, my colors were hot pink and white and black and gold. When we rebranded to the Perfect Pitch Group, I knew hot pink wasn't going to work anymore because that reflected who we used to be. With red, it's like, stop. We really are the only choice that matters. This is like an emergency situation. You bring in us when it comes to messaging, when it comes to baiting, attracting, and closing with ease. And you need to understand that I am not by myself. I have a whole team. So with our Perfect Pitch Academy, with our Pitch Bold Profit Goal, which making sure that people understand that our talents and skill sets and abilities have been amplified over the last few years. And that's why I'm able to work with the LinkedIns, the Googles, and Microsofts, the Federal Reserve Banks, the Intuit, QuickBooks, the Verizon, the Scores, and a host of other private associations, nonprofits, top foundations, and companies and corporations. And it shows and it's reflected in our branding, which is packaging. And so I hope that answers your question, Andrew. I don't want to give a whole primer, but I think it's just important for people to understand that as great as pitching can be, there are other elements you need to do to push that P, and these are the 3 Ps. You're on mute.
Okay. At the end of the day, as a business owner, you are your brand and you're
Please
your
believe.
business. So however you come across and represent 24/7 is how your business is going to be viewed. So packaging is super important.
Right.
So you want things consistent with the brand you want to have. You can't create your brand, but you can influence your brand by what you do. And, that's really a big piece, is that packaging, but also positioning goes into that. How do you do things? how are you seen doing things? How professional is what you do? Precious sort of has her brand of being the only person that matters for in many situations. My brand is different. More of a business, running your small business like a pro. So I sort of take on that persona.
Yep.
And like Precious wears bright colors. I usually wear blue because blue. Well, one, it's my favorite color, of course, but also it's a color of trust.
It is.
A trusted advisor. You have to look the part as well as be the part. So I think that makes a lot of sense. So you've got several people on here, so probably some people that you're familiar with. You got Regina.
Hey, Regina.
Thanks for joining in. You got Mrs. Knight.
Hello, Pistacia.
We didn't want to mess up your name. And then we've got Lucretia.
Hello.
So and we've got Krita.
My dame sister.
Okay, and then we've also got Darren.
Hi, Darren.
So welcome everybody, and thanks for joining us tonight. So Precious, there's so many things we could talk about.
Many.
One of the things I always like when you say is, pitching isn't just one thing. There's many different types of pitches and many different ways that it's important to communicate. So, definitely if you can take a minute, I think you said there's 8 types of pitches. Is that correct?
No, I said there's 6.
Okay, well, you're by the time you're done with them, there's going to be 8 probably.
There is. There is. There's 6 different. There are definitely 6 different types, and you can utilize them all on various platforms.
Okay, so let's hear what are these 6 types. And
okay, so the first is your elevator pitch, and for many entrepreneurs and even entrepreneurs, if you're going to events that have to do with business, you are most likely going to have a segment in the event where people give their elevator pitch. So it might be 30 seconds to 60 seconds. And what you want to do in your elevator pitch is you really want to wet their whistle. You want to give them a juicy morsel that makes them want to look you up and start following you and pique their interest. And if they don't have that need right now for your services or your products, you've tapped into something. So I think about when I used to walk into the room and I'd be, ladies, raise your hands if you want to be a bad bitch with a power pitch. Clutching pearls, men are raising their hands. And I said, fellas, raise your hands if you want to be a bad man with a master pitching plan. Well, you've come to the right place. My name is Precious Williams, and I go into like something really, really quick. But what I did there is I didn't start with my name and the name of my company, which is quite boring. And you want to interrupt the pattern of boring by making people, whoa, I thought she was going to sound like everybody else. But you've immediately got their attention. The second pitch is your media pitch. And my first company benefited from a media pitch, even though I didn't know that's what I was doing. So when I went to an event I couldn't afford and walked up to the producers of MSNBC and made up a pitch on the spot about Curvy Girls Lingerie, my very first company, it shocked them with the confidence that a 327-pound woman will walk up to them and talk about a company that for some reason it didn't seem like it made sense, but it did with the confidence that I talked about it with. I knew my numbers. I'd written the business plan, but more importantly, I added the personality and brought a fresh perspective to looking at who people consider plus size women by calling them full figure divas and plus size fashionistas. That line alone even shocked the sharks on Shark Tank. Like they were just loving it. But do you see that with a media pitch, it's a fresh take or fresh perspective that they're looking for that goes against the grain? So if you're pitching to the media, It's not going to be long at all, but you have to say something that's snappy, witty, and cause them like, whoa, ooh, I like that. Ooh, what a unique thing to do at 327 is to stand before all the angels and all these other agent provocateur, wolf, or all of those places and say, I'm not any of those. I can't fit any of those things. And they don't think that I matter. So this full figure diva created the company that celebrates the beauty of curvy women every day, 24/7, 365. Come get this work. So you have your elevator, your media, your investor pitch. Many entrepreneurs are looking for an investment in their company, whether that's from angel investors, whether that's from venture capitalists, whether that's from your family and friends, whether that's through crowdfunding. Think about that. Maybe that's through bank loans and lines of credit. To each of those different audiences, you have to make a compelling case that you're the right jockey for that horse. So do you have facts, figures, and statistics to back up the market? Is it growing? Is it contracting? Are you the right person who truly understands how to move that vision forward? Do you have skin in the game? Or are you looking to use everybody else's money that you're going to waste because you don't know the value of that dollar? And finally, are you able to clearly articulate your value proposition, who you are? Why are people going to buy from you, book you, refer you, all of those sort of things? And it makes it easier for the investor of all of them to want to invest in your company or your idea or your product or your service, right? And each of these, trust me, you really want to be the only choice that matters, period. Okay. And then you have your speaker pitch. How many speakers, honestly, how many speakers get asked by people all the time? Hey, we don't have a budget, but we love to have you speak for us. We can offer exposure. I feel like Cat Williams. Don't worry, I'll wait, because that's not what I'm not interested in any of that. But how do you remember we talked about packaging, positioning, and pitching? When these three align, it changes the game for you, right? So I don't get a lot of people coming at me anymore for free or exposure because I don't accept it. Just like there are certain spaces that I don't go in as a speaker because I understand that you'll get stuck there. So as a speaker, is it clear what your zone of genius is? Or do you sound like average, random, or ordinary? Are you mid-tier or are you elite? Do people know your name? And this is not a popularity contest. Let me make sure that's clear for speakers. You don't have to win the popularity contest or to be viral, but your pitch has to succinctly, again, address, are you the only choice that matters for this particular topic, this particular conference, this particular summit, this particular workshop, for this particular corporate training, this retreat? If it doesn't, then maybe you shouldn't be applying. Maybe you're not, maybe people aren't calling you for the paid speaking engagements because there's nothing really special that you're showing. A lot of us have had a lot of people have had similar coaches, so they sound like their coach. It's a regurgitation. It is not synthesized into something that's uniquely you and flavorful. When they call me a bad bitch with a power pitch, or I call myself the bad bitch with a power pitch, and that's also the title of my first book, that is something that's going to snap to your attention. Like, what? And yet Forbes magazine reviewed my very first book with that title because it snapped them like, whoa. She's a 13-time national pitch champion. She's been speaking professionally since she was 16 years old, meaning I got paid to speak at 16 and I'm 45. So this is 29 years. What facts, figures, and statistics back up what you say as a speaker? Very few people can say 29 years at 45. Very few people can say that they've been in all forms of media in terms of movies, documentaries, training, co-hosting a show on Fox Business, being on Shark Tank, and all these other sort of things. So my being a world-class master communicator means that I've done it in different realms, from the media to podcasts, to interviews, to speaking on stages, to doing training in video form, to doing a Zoom, Blue Jeans, and all this other kind of things. These things matter to conference organizers and event planners. And if you don't know what matters to conference organizers, event planners, and those who book speakers, then it's time to go back and understand this is why the people that are coming to you always on that free tip, you've got to make a decision. Are you speaking for free? Or are you worth paying for? And if they're coming with little dollars and little cents, and you've been doing it a while, I need you to check on what you're actually saying out of your mouth, what's reflected on LinkedIn and all those other sort of things. So now let's go into your sales pitch. I feel like that's in everything that you do. If they go to your social media, will they buy what you're selling? If they meet you, if you're sitting on a train with someone and you're just talking, but you just throw a little things in there to capture their attention, you know they're going to look you up if you've said something, a nice juicy morsel for them to taste. And they're like, oh, I want a little bit more taste of that, right? So a sales pitch is really getting them closer to the actual sale. And if you do this well, y'all, you can take a prospect to a repeat client with a killer pitch, killer sales pitch, period. So first you want to get them to that yes, and then come back repeatedly. How do you get them to hire you, book you, refer you, and all those sort of things, right? And so y'all in the comments, go off. If I'm saying anything that resonates, pitch please. If you got some questions you want to throw it at Andrew and I, go ahead and do it. Throw it at us. Like, I love this sort of thing because I love to train and to teach. And I know I don't sound like everybody else. I know I have an accent. I know that my hair changes like my underwear every day. You never know what I'm going to come in like. And finally, you have your interview pitch. And let me share this with you all. The reason why I got to teach at Ivy League institutions, top historically Black colleges and universities, PWIs, community colleges, and the like, is because I saw that there was a problem that can happen with career services, constantly regurgitating that. Just learn about the company. Say you're hardworking, you're diligent. When you're writing on the application, everybody's saying the same thing, and that's why you're not standing out. So there's a seeding process on the actual application. And if you are so blessed to get an interview, what are some of the things you need to say in the interview that honestly makes you the only choice that matters, but makes you more interesting, right? So when they're asking you the question of, oh, tell us about yourself, and you want to go back to childhood and all these sort of things, you've missed the boat. That question is trying to understand, with your background, how does that relate to you really excelling here at this company? So that's where you have to start mining your life for the stories that will matter in this particular moment, that will illustrate different points throughout that interview process. So you're diligent and hardworking. That's a given. Everybody says it, even though they're not. So an interview pitch, whether you're interviewing for a fellowship, a job, a position of your dreams, you're interviewing for something just magical. Maybe you're doing audition for a television show, a movie, or something like that. An interview pitch and knowing how to do it well is probably one of the reasons why my very first time auditioning for a movie, I actually got it, because I didn't know what the rules were, but I did know that I had the personality that was tailor-made for entertainment. And that came through speaking, that came through being the killer pitch master. And it also came through knowing how to be on camera and when the camera is not rolling. So Andrew, did I answer your questions?
Okay, all right. So we got the first 6. So I'm going to challenge you.
All right, come through it. We got 8 now. Okay.
It's going to be 8. So
okay.
But I think, you're talking about some important stuff, because a lot of people are like afraid of selling or think it's scary. But you're always selling.
All day.
Yes. It's everything in life in many ways is some type of sale. And one of my sales trainers used to say, either you sold them on what you're selling, or they sold you on not wanting what you're selling. So, so it's always a communication and networking. And the other thing, probably many people don't necessarily know about you, but working with you, it's not like you just wake up every morning and you know all this stuff. You're up at like 5 a.m. every morning working, so it takes a level of commitment to be able to do this successfully, and it takes a level of preparation. When you go to speak, you need to know what they expect to hear. I go to a lot of, coach different people, but, always, I do interviews for my college. And, one of the things is, when you're going to college, a lot of people have interviews, like you said, well, what does the college want? What do they want to hear?
Come on.
And, I'm like, well, if they're the college, what's the one thing they do when you get out?
Tout about job statistics and all kinds of stuff.
They want you to give them money. So
this is true. Yes, very much so. You got to have a position or something to be able to do that.
Right. So you want to describe how you're going to be successful in a way that you'll be in a position to give them back money. So you always want to think in terms of the other person and the organization. So I mean, definitely that's
point well taken, because it's not about you the way you think it is, and I think that's why when it comes to pitching, there's this queen, I'm forgetting her name right now, but she always talks about it, what's in it for me.com, and I love that, because it's like, you can be as great as you want. How does that deal with me? If I'm investing dollars in you, I expect to be paid back. I expect you to not play with my money, because I'm gonna play with you then. You know what I mean? If I hire you or you're provided with this fellowship, we want you to see it to completion and actually succeed, so that that we become even more prestigious and all of that, Or when you're doing your elevator pitch, all of us have been in these rooms where by the time the fifth or sixth person is talking, you don't care what they say. You have planned out your grocery list in your mind. You're about to, like, I'm going on maybe a hot date or some kind of date because I don't care anymore. But to break through that with what's in it for me.com, and, what results can they expect back? What's in it for them?
So no, definitely. So it's like 8:30. We're halfway through. Time always goes fast, especially when we're hanging out. But before we're going to take a break. Just for those of you who joined us, this is Small Business Pro Week, and we have some great things going on here in New Jersey. So if you're in the area, you're welcome to join us. Precious will be there as well. And if not, we're going to set it up so on Friday you can check out the live stream. So that's an option as well. So more details to follow. But this is what we've got.
Andrew. Come on.
This is what we've got. So tomorrow, Thursday night, we've got networking in Newark at Mercado Tomato Pie. Friday, Precious is the keynote at our Small Business Pro Power Conference at NJIT, New Jersey Institute of Technology in Newark. And we've actually got free parking there, which anyone who's been to Newark knows that's not necessarily an easy thing to get.
At all.
And then we have something new that we've never done before. But, it's a great opportunity for you to really take advantage and move your business forward. This could easily be the most valuable business day that you spend this year. So it's called Small Business Pro Saturday. And we got a short video that's going to tell you a little bit about it. And, who wouldn't want to spend the day with Precious?
I know, that's right.
And work on your pitches. Definitely. So here's what Small Business Pro Saturday is all about. If your revenue is not growing or you're not making enough money, you need to join me on Small Business Pro Saturday. It will be the most valuable day that you spend this year. We will help you to achieve your business breakthrough to sell more and make more. Are you ready to accelerate your business success faster and easier? Spend the day taking a deep dive with a Small Business Pro University expert to focus on one of these critical topics. Learn the secrets to booking paid speaking engagements. Develop your action plan to sell more and make more. Create and launch your new digital product in one day, or assemble your dream team to accelerate growth. Small Business Pro Saturday features full-day, in-person, intensive training sessions with actionable takeaways. Learn from an expert about how they'll help you to achieve your business breakthrough. Option 1, Precious L. Williams, the Killer Pitch Master, will prepare you to achieve greater success as a paid speaker by making you the only choice that matters. Option 2, Andrew Frazier, the Masterpreneur, will help you to grow your business in a more profitable way using his proven method for scaling. Option 3, Jimmy Newson, the Impact Influencer, will help you to develop and launch a new digital product and revenue stream for your business. Option 4, Gene Bohinski will help you to find the best freelancers and prepare you to work with them effectively to accomplish more, faster, and easier. Are you committed to achieving greater business success? If so, register for Small Business Pro Saturday. Are you ready to accelerate your business success faster and easier? If so, register for Small Business Pro Saturday. Don't delay because seating is limited. To learn more and secure your spot, visit www.sbpro.com/sbpro-saturday. That's www.sbpro.com/sbpro-saturday. Your business breakthrough is just one click away. Okay, back here on Leadership Live, I'm hanging out with Precious L. Williams, the Killer Pitch Master, and we're talking about the 3P's for personal business success. For
Andrew,
personal and business.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Or I want to make a comment and a question. So many of you may not know, but Andrew has been my business advisor for at least the last 2 years. So a lot of what we've been talking about, I remember when, I had the idea for Rainmaking 101 from day one, packaging, positioning, and pitching. And he knew that was going to be like the turning point for my business, right? A lot of us have these great ideas, but he knew, right? So when my book came out last year, April 18th, 2023, on the day that my grandmother passed, Precious Williams, my namesake, before that, we had been talking about, going back into the legal profession to train attorneys. And we knew that there had to be a rebranding process with me. Because Perfect Pitches by Precious, as great as it was, it looked like a one-woman army. And that's not enough to have companies, corporations, foundations, nonprofits to select you for corporate training contracts. I am great at, keynoting and everything, but there had to be this leap, and how I showed up had to change. Our website had to change. My clothing had to change. And I had to see myself totally differently from the perspective of these bigger corporations. What were they looking for? And what did I know I could come to the table with that I knew that no one else could? And it wasn't just, what I say 13 time and all of that. It was the results. It's the results. It's the testimonials. It's the things I never paid for and that were given freely. So over time, under Andrew's guidance and tutelage as my business advisor, yes, I pay him because he's worth it. And I can tell you in real time, as great as I am, I can't put all these pieces together. And he instantly knew what was going to work and what wasn't. Even when I want to push back and all these other sort of things, he was never wrong. Something else you all may not know about me is I've become more emotional over time because there's been this success that in many ways has been faster than my first time. And to trust him and also trust myself and to be guided. This is why packaging, positioning, and pitching means so much to me, because I was willing to go through it. I could talk about it and write about it, but I actually went through the process myself. And it showed in how people responded to our new website. It showed in the clients that came my way. And I can tell you this year, even if he won't tell you, there have been many days of just beautiful tears with my team and I. And to see the trajectory that we've had and the opportunities. And I've won 4 national business awards this year. Nope, you don't pay for them. Nope, this isn't some popularity contest. It is results and people, the right people knowing your name and what you bring to the table. And every time I walked off those stages after just my acceptance speeches, there were people waiting to book me and to hire me and to talk to me about what I could do for their companies or who they needed to put me in front of. That did not happen years ago. So I feel like in many ways we're the dynamic duo, especially for my company. And so when he tells you small business like a pro, when he talks about his books, his conference, the last time I spoke at his conference, I actually won the Fearless Fund grant. I ran off of his stage to have this interview and to win the grant. So I want you all to know, yes, I'm like, wow, at times. But it takes the right advisor and guide to understand your unique talents and gifts and zones of genius, to listen, cut through the clutter and noise that's in my mind, and let's go get this work. Let's go show the world and yourself that you knew who you were. So I thank you, Andrew. And so the Small Business Pro Power Conference is about power. It's about being around investors and funders and your next clients and your customers. It's real because I've been hired from his conferences and his breakfasts. That is not a lie. So the right people are in the room. And if you do have a chance and you're not able to come, take advantage of the virtual option. You will see why it's called the Small Business Pro Power Conference, because powerful things happen in that room. I don't know if that's going to be offered for Saturday.
Okay.
You, Andrew.
So, okay, no, great. I appreciate it. And you're doing great things. I love what you're doing, and can't wait to see where you're going, because now's only the beginning.
Yes.
So, definitely, we'll have the conference sessions available, but Small Business Pro Saturday is a full day intensive program for 10 up to 10 people. So it's not something you can really do virtual, but when you come into that and walk away, and what you walk away with is going to change you and your business in fundamental ways that's going to create much greater success. So if that's something you can do, either of the 4 sessions fit with what you need, spend the day with the expert and really take away what you really need to move your business forward. So excellent. So we do have a few questions, so I want to make sure, and a comment. So Regina, you're in Cali, and wish we could have let you know in advance, but definitely you can check out the the live stream, and also reach out. This isn't the first time we're going to do this.
No.
So it is something that you could be that can be available. And hopefully you come out next time. Our next event is going to be November 8th. So we're giving you plenty of notice. So and definitely you've got Precious's LinkedIn, you got her website in there. Precious is really friendly, so she would love to have you connect with her if you're not connected. You should definitely do that. Feel free to connect with me as well, and
Very much.
Stay on top of stuff, and sign up for our newsletters, because Precious puts out great stuff in her LinkedIn newsletter. every week I put out the plan of the week, which
Plan of the week be popping.
valuable stuff for entrepreneurs and business owners. So definitely that. Ethel, thanks for your comment. And definitely excellent. Thanks for joining us as well. For some reason, some of the comments from Facebook aren't coming all the way over, so I'm going to mention some, or maybe.
Oh, thank you, because I know there were more.
Right. So we got Maria.
Hi, Maria.
And then, will the November 8th event be in New Jersey? Yes, it's going to be in New Jersey.
Actually, are.
Tickets are available now. If you go to, you've got the link to the conference. You can go there, and we have tickets available there too. We got Jack. Okay, well, actually, we got Jack Cox. Always a big fan of Precious. So
yes.
You were going to be on. I'm coming. We also have Tynetta Dance. She's coming up from Maryland for the conference. So I'm looking forward to having her join us. Her comment didn't come through for some reason, but on Facebook it's there. And then how can you engage on Saturday? You got to be here Saturday, because that's one of something you got to be there to get the benefit from. So
definitely, with it being so intimate, you have time with us. It's not a fight for the time. It's really deep and it's really intensive. So, and all four of us go ham and cheese and peanut butter and jelly. I promise you.
Mm-hmm. So definitely, if you check it out, 6 hours with Precious, and it's broken up into the 3 sections: packaging, positioning, and pitching, and 2 hours focused on your specific needs in those areas. So definitely well worth it. So let's see who else we have on Facebook. Okay, Lucretia, you're in Pennsylvania, can't make it Saturday. Well, hopefully next time.
Right.
Definitely I think that's everything from Facebook.
Andrew, another thing that we kind of talk about but don't is the power of testing, right? So there are people who look at business like everything has to be this guarantee. Everything has to explode from the moment you start something. And in my 14 years of entrepreneurship, I'm here to tell you that sometimes the first time you do something, you can crash and burn. And 5 years later, you're right on time, right? So some of us are visionaries. And sometimes you're so ahead of your time that time has to catch up with you, right? So when I think about pitching and how people treated it way back when, as if it wasn't necessary, or saying that, oh, it's played and it's dull. Shark Tank been on for how long? Not only that, when have we never had commercials? Not only that, when have we never had marketing and branding? Not only that, like the makeup I put on my face, like I've heard it from somewhere. I've seen it somewhere. Those emails you get in every day about some company trying to sell you something, it's not going away, y'all. So everything doesn't always land. Sometimes you have these great ideas, and the first time it's not, or you change the method, and that changes everything, right? So with our Pitch Bold Profit Gold, with the small business pro power conference, with the breakfasts, all of those things in between, it really whets the appetite and shows people that there is money being made in these rooms. There are connections being made. There's funding happening in these rooms, but you got to be there and you got to make yourself known. And I've never seen 100%. I've never seen a risk be 100% guaranteed. It's a risk, but so is entrepreneurship and so is life. So get in the room and meet your next person, your next friend, your next client, your next customer, because sometimes it takes them a long time to work with you. And when they work with you, it's so well worth the wait because you have proven and demonstrated a track record of success.
Definitely, definitely. So, I think that, all those things are key, and definitely appreciate everybody's comments and questions. We got Mark Anthony Jenkins. I'm gonna shout him out.
Oh my goodness! I have not seen him in years.
Yeah, he's on Facebook.
Okay.
So it didn't come through, but
Okay.
he says congratulations, and he's so proud of you. And for
You.
you who don't know, Mark does the Black Expo USA, or that's sort of, and he's expanding that this year in the fall in New York. And I think he's going to be there on Friday as well. So looking forward to that.
That's amazing. Oh, you know what? I see people on my LinkedIn that you don't see, Andrew.
Okay.
I see comments.
Okay.
I don't know how to share them with you unless you want me to say something. But Mark, Mark Anthony, I can't wait.
So we've got a question for you from Lucretia. So, do you take the same approach about the 3P's for products as well as services? Great question.
Lulu, now you know. So products and services in some ways are treated differently, and in some ways, some of the same principles still apply, right? And so when I'm working with my clients, I'm figuring out the best way for them. Like Andrew is a guide to me for the growing and scaling of my company. The same applies to how I work with my clients and their companies, whether they're product based or service based. And so it's a similar approach, but the way of baiting, attracting, and closing can be different. So with packaging, positioning, and pitching, service based businesses often can't show what it is. So they have to create a story around what it is that they do. If I'm a barber, I can't just show you all the time what I'm doing. If I do taxes, I can't always show you what I'm doing, but through the power of testimonials, through the power of meeting with my clients and their satisfied faces and them talking about what it is that I do, that's still positioning, right? And if they work with you, if they work with me, why ain't you? Right? So service-based businesses are not done a disservice. It's just a little different, right? And it's kind of like the same thing in pitch competitions. There were some people that I went against who had service-based companies and some had product-based. And when I was in my last competition, Black Enterprise, May 16, 2013, our pitches were all that we could do. There was no showing up with lingerie. There was no showing up with anything. So imagine in your packaging and your positioning and your pitching, if you took all those things away, could you still do it? Could you still set a scene in the audience's mind? Could you still get them interested? Could you still give them a juicy morsel that they can sink their teeth into and still want more? The truth is you can. You have social media. You have lives that you can do. You have different platforms from your TikToks to YouTube to Facebook to Instagram to all of those things that allow you to still tell your story, which still allows you to package and position yourself. So all is never lost. You just have to utilize different platforms. If you're approaching media, that's different platforms. There's some people who love to focus on podcasts and the interviews versus you being on television versus documentaries and things like that. Different mediums, slightly different approaches, but packaging and positioning and pitching still apply to both. Thank you, Lulu, my queen.
Okay. Well, time tends to pass pretty fast when you're having fun.
I know, right?
So we're bumping up around the 9 o'clock hour. But for those of you who have joined us late, just want to make sure you know a little bit more about kind of what we have going on this week. And then, we'll go from there. So let's take a look. So what we've got later this week is Thursday night, we got the Power Network. Friday, we got the Small Business Pro Power Conference. So here's a little bit about each of those. Join us for the Power Network event at Mercado Tomato Pie in Newark, New Jersey on Thursday, July 25th. Meet with like-minded entrepreneurs in a relaxed environment to chat, connect, and collaborate. I'm Andrew Frazier. Please join me at our Power Network event, and I look forward to introducing you to our members. To learn more and register, visit www.sbprou.com/power-network. That's www.sbprou.com/power-network today. We're here at the Small Business Power Breakfast and Conference.
This event was a wow. Every panel, every speaker has had so much amazing content and good information to share.
This is a good day to put aside to come out and do some learning, but also make some great connections.
Lakeland Bank is proud to sponsor the Power Breakfast this year, actually for the entire year.
Join me at the Small Business Pro Power Conference on July 26th in Newark, New Jersey. And you don't want to miss our featured guest speaker, Precious L. Williams. She will be talking about Rainmaking 101 from day one.
Good day, everyone. Hey, hey, hey. It's your girl, Precious Williams, the killer pitch master. And I can't wait to see you at the Small Business Power Breakfast and Conference.
Take advantage of our early bird pricing by registering today. Okay. And finally, we've got the Small Business Pro Saturday. So hopefully you can join us then as well. Precious made an interesting observation on that. So, this is our version of the business Mount Rushmore. As you
I know, I love it.
And, definitely, hopefully you found tonight valuable. Precious, before we close out, I always ask people to share 3 things that you'd like them to take away from what we discussed tonight, so that they can start using them with it, start using it tomorrow to help them be more successful in their business.
Yes. So the top 3 things, we'll go back to the 3P's. Packaging. Look at how you are showing up in the world, on social media, and in real life. Is your packaging reflecting the status you want and reflecting the type of opportunities you want to come your way? Does your clothing, does how you style your hair, do you have signature things that people can count on? Positioning. Number 2, positioning. I want you to do some deep reflection and look at the way you're being positioned. You positioned yourself, or you may have been positioned in the marketplace. And I would start to ask some of your trusted friends and associates, not family members, friends and associates who are entrepreneurs, to rate how they see you in the marketplace. Do they see you as average, random, and ordinary? Do they see you as mid-tier, or they see you as elite? And really go over with them so that you can understand what's missing or what you're batting 1,000 on. I would also ask them, do they understand what your zone of genius is? And if all they can offer you is surface, it's time to go back to the drawing board, and you may need to plot, twist, and flip the script so that you show up elite and worthy of being paid top dollar. In terms of 3, your pitching is how you're speaking about yourself online, offline, in conversations. Is it really moving the needle forward? Are you finding that people are what you're putting out there, is it making them nibble? Is it making them want to look you up? Are you showing up as, are you pitching yourself as the only choice that matters? Is there something more you could be adding or subtracting from your pitch that makes it crystal clear there's nobody better at what it is that you do? So those are the 3 things that I want you to focus on starting tomorrow, and make it a group effort, because sometimes we have tunnel vision. I am so glad that I have Andrew Frazier as my business advisor, and I am so glad that I have a team that keeps me in check. And so it's very important that in order to become a rainmaker, make it rain like snow in your business, to check out those 3 things and move accordingly.
Hey, there you have it. Precious L. Williams, the Killer Pitch Master, sharing her 3 P's for personal and business success.
We pushing P.
Pushing P's, and hopefully you got something valuable out of this. I did myself as well. And thanks, Regina, for your comment. And looking forward to connect with you as well in the future. So thanks again, everybody, for hanging out with us tonight.
Andrew, do they have our contact information and everything?
They have so Precious, your LinkedIn profile and your website links are in the chat.
Right.
Links for all of
the. Be checking out on Friday. Check out Thursday and Friday. Come on now.
Yep, you got links for those as well, and definitely look forward to seeing everybody. So, thanks again. You guys have a great week. We'll let you know a little bit more about how it went, and November 8th.
Guaranteed videos.
Yes. So, looking forward to it. So thanks again, Precious, and hang on for a minute as I close things out. So once again, I always appreciate everybody tuning in, and we had some great comments, some great questions. That's really what makes the show even more valuable, because we want to make it as valuable as possible for you, to make sure you get value out of it. So thanks again for that. At the end of the day, as a business owner and as an entrepreneur, the more that you know, the faster and more successfully your business is going to grow.
Thank you for listening to Leadership Live at 8:05, Talking Small Business. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and to the podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Leadership Live is one of the many valuable resources provided through the Small Business Pro University, empowering business owners to learn, profit, and grow. Find out more at sbpro.u.com.